Good morning. It's Eric of AriBo Arts, and we're here for Battmaking with AriBo Arts. I'm on my second mug of tea. I've got some nice Earl Grey. Because it's a mite bit chilly today. It was 63 in here when I woke up. I have turned the heat up a little bit. But we have, it's not technically blizzard, but we have wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour right now, coming from the northwest. Fortunately, not purely north, otherwise it'd be even colder in here. And we did have a little bit of snow, but it's blowing around. All the snow we've had so far this year has been very light, so it's blowing around everything that's been on the ground. I'm hoping it will end in the next couple hours, so I can actually, my van is kind of high, and so I don't like to drive it in strong winds, but I need to go down to my guild, to my dye lab. Okay, so what we're doing today is we're actually making another bat. I made a bat on Sunday or Monday. I don't remember which day it was. It was my the Sunday demo or Sunday demo, but on Monday that I do on my own page. It was called Purple Sky, and I have enough of the materials to make more, so we're going to make more. Get stuff off camera for one quick second. You don't need to watch me put lip gloss on. So the base for this is this lovely, can you see a little bit of shine in there? This is a Coopworth from a Wisconsin fiber mill. It's got a little bit of silk blended in it as well. Okay. So that's the base. And then we have bamboo and bio nylon and a peduncle silk, which is just used for a little bit of texture. So that's the plan. The other plan is to not get fiber in the tea, because, you know, fuzzy tea. Okay, it says something up there. Oh, it just says I'm in a private group. Okay. Making sure all the technology is working. So this is a lovely, lovely thing. It started out as 8 ounces. The bat I made already was 2.33, so we'll see how this one goes. And also, I haven't cleaned off the drum because I'm making more of the same thing. So let me get you tilted down. And maybe to the side a little bit so you can see all of Sebastian. I'm going to turn you just a little. If you get seasick, close your eyes. There. All right, should do it. Okay, now I got a weird pop-up. Okay, no, just a slow connection. Okay. But it means I am more off camera than usual. But I will try and work here. So I'm just fluffing this out. This is it's a small mill, but they have a nice size roving. Sometimes the small mills have a thinner roving. But I love their stuff. Now the thing about the Coopworth is it's got a lot of crimp to it, and so it's got a lot of air in it. So you can fill the drum, and it's not going to be as heavy as you think it is, because there's just so much air, and of course air doesn't weigh anything. Okay, twist it just a little bit there. There we go. Okay, so I got that. Now let's do some bamboo. Oh, got this little piece from the last one I made. Bamboo's always something that I paint on. As are the other items I'm going to be adding. Yeah, I'm getting ready. My guild has a pop-up holiday sale this weekend, though the forecast is not looking favorable for people being out and about. So this is the bio nylon. It's a biodegradable nylon. This is black. Sometimes a touch of black is just what you want. And now if you can see, there's a bit of a thicker bit there bit of a clump that got ripped out of my hand. So you can either use a tool or your fingers to sort of pick it up and then just spread it out a little more. And then the peduncle silk, which is from, it's the silk that sort of is near the top of where the cocoon attaches to the tree. So it's not, it's more of a, like some of that silk noil in terms of it's more of a matte instead of a sheen. It's a little more nubby. It's got some more texture in it. And so what I do for this is just use it like an oil. Just drag it in little bits across the surface of the drum carder. Like that. So it'll end up being a bit tweedy. And then just press everything down. Again, that's our first layer. So I've got this guild thing this weekend. It's my sort of last in-person of the year. And some years it goes really well, and other years, like, it's in the middle of a snowstorm. And they keep changing Saturday's still far away. It's a Friday night, Saturday thing. But it's going to be like -4 degrees. And that's Fahrenheit. By the way, if it was -4 Celsius, I'd be fine. Yesterday was actually pretty warm. It got up into the 40s. And so a lot of snow was melting, and like the ice on the sidewalks that hadn't been cleared properly, which I was annoyed by. A lot of that was melting, and I got the shovel out of my van, and behind my van, the parking lot area is never. I think what happened was once it first snowed, because it's not a priority clearance area, people had driven on it, so they packed it down, and so when they plowed it, it didn't get the packed down stuff. But it was making these mounds that made it very annoying to back over. And so because my parking lot spot is assigned, so I essentially cleared the area in the middle of the driving area where I would have to back up to, so that I wouldn't have that there. And then my neighbors who have a spot 2 down from mine, and they're going to be back this weekend, so I went, and they're at the very end row, so the plow doesn't get in there very well. So I was a good neighbor and cleared their spot better than it was, because I didn't want it to turn to ice and have them slip on it, because they're older than me. And the other thing we're keeping an eye on the weather for is tomorrow night. Normally on Thursday nights, I host the spin along on Zoom for WAFA. And Lizette from Spin Glitz is actually going to be doing it this week. Because I will be about a block, go across the street about half a block down, and be sitting in a hairstylist's window. My town does this, it's called Christmas Greetings on Main, and there's these live window displays. And many years, well, not many years ago, maybe it was post-pandemic, maybe 21 or 22. My guild did a really great one in this one storefront that had this huge space, and I was in charge, and there were 3 of us doing it. We were dressed like Santa's elves, and we were Santa's Workshop Textile Division. And I did this great backdrop that had sort of a couple doors, including something called the glitter room, and then there was like glitter creeping out of it all over the background, and a big sign like "Keep door closed," and because glitter gets everywhere, right? And then we were spinning and weaving, and we had all sorts of finished items and piles of yarn, and it was a great display. And then United Ways saw how great our display was, and they requested that window the next year. And so we have since then been in smaller spaces, and they keep saying, well, why don't you put up the backdrop? And I'm like, there's no room. I made the backdrop to go in that huge window, if you put us in a tiny little window, there's no room for the backdrop. And also, some places don't have, sometimes we're in windows where we're in front of a big room. There's no place to hang the backdrop. And so they've got us in, as I said, one of the beauty salons. And, they've already got a tree up, so I'm incorporating that in. There's presents there. They got little lights in their windows. But they were like, well, the chamber people are telling me, well, they have a, I don't know what's called, drop ceiling. You can hang it from there. I'm like, I'm not going to go in and mess up somebody's ceiling to hang a backdrop. And also the space is not big enough to use that particular backdrop. So once I actually finish doing this demo, I'm going to get online and make some sort of sign that I can just sort of have printed at the print shop down the street on a larger format piece of paper of some kind, or maybe cardstock so it's stiff, and essentially get a pants hanger and clip it to a garment rack or something that hangs down that will actually have the sign to tell people that it is Santa's Workshop, Textile Division. And initially it was going to be me and the past president. Oh, hang on, I just lost something down here. Yes, okay. Actually, I gotta write something on here right away before I forget. If this pen works. I don't know if this pen works. Maybe? Okay, that pen does not work. There are a lot of dead pens over here. There we go. Okay, can't lose that. That is the info for this bag. And so there was going to be two of us. That's what we did last year. We were in a storefront that's the storefront that's literally underneath my condo last year. And that was also when the bridge was closed, so there was no traffic. But we had a little me and the past president. She had brought her Cricut loom, and so I wove on that. And she has a little Hungarian spinning wheel that is mostly green, so it sort of fits with some red decoration on it, so it fits seasonally. And so, so she was going to do it with me again this year, and the forecast right now for tomorrow is looking like 80% chance of snow. And as she says, she drives a little wimpy car, and it's not going to make it in the snow. And so she decided yesterday that she wasn't going to do it. So I'm currently reconfiguring my plans. I mean, there wasn't room for more than two of us there, and nobody else is free because we have this event at my guild this weekend. So I am coming up with what I can take from my condo, fortunately only a block away, to sort of serve as decor and filler. I figure I'll probably bring yarn. I'll bring, I think I'm probably going to just spin with my painted spinning wheel, because everybody really likes the look of that. And then I'll maybe bring a loom or two. I have a couple looms on stands so they can sort of be there. And maybe some yarn and various other things. The thing is, this is just like a street window, so it comes down to maybe, it's below my waist, I think. But the very first window we had that was giant that time, it was essentially a stage. It was one of those raised windows. And that was great so people could see everything. Now, I will say they do put a sign in every window so you know which organization. It's all nonprofits. Which organization is sort of staffing that window. But, oh, look at that nice bit of silk right there. Oh, hey, I have My goodness, I actually got a comment. That is unusual. I usually don't get comments. Or I can't see the comments. Maybe Facebook did an update. Ooh, how exciting. Yeah, so I have to sort of plan. Oops, don't want that to go in there. Plan what else I want to have for decor. But the other problem is none of my looms are warped up. I mean, most of my looms are small. Well, okay. My Saori loom, no. That I couldn't carry over, but I have a 12-inch Erica loom for harness, and I've got on a stand, and I've got a Ashford Samplet, the 16-inch rigid heddle, also on a stand. I do have a Kromsky Presto, the 10-inch, not on a stand, but it is green. So that would, I don't know. And then I have to figure out, what I'm going to wear. What can I find that's red and green? And elf, I don't wear elf ears. Because, I've got, between the glasses and everything, I can't really have anything on my ears. Like that. And I know Karen, the past president, she would have had her elf ears. She loves wearing her elf ears. But, so I have to think about it. And what's nice is the owner of the business has said that I can just leave everything in the window when it ends tomorrow night, and I can just then come back Friday morning and pick everything up. Which, particularly if it's snowing, is going to be really, really nice. I told her I would set up at 5:30, but I think I'm probably going to go over at 5. So that means I have to prep, figure out what I'm spinning. I don't think I currently have a project on there. I think the current project I have going is something on my EEW, but I'm not sure if I want to have, I might take the EEW and put it on a little table as a tool to sort of have it there. But I don't think I would use it. So I was just thinking about the bobbins on the EW. I do have a couple of bobbins of things I've spun that, I haven't decided what I'm plying them with yet. And so I might take those in a basket. I'm seeing a piece of VM. Oh yeah, it's a nice big piece of... Where'd you go? There we go. Yeah, we don't need that in there. Oh, what you can't see from this angle is behind me, I have a nice big space. I used to have piles of totes, and I've gone through and I've consolidated things and moved things around. So things are much more spacious than they have been. Still need to do a little more work down this end. Let's see how we're doing there. This might be our last layer. Because this part right here is getting full, less here. I think it's fuller in the middle there. So this is called Purple Sky. This will be the second one I'm going to make. Clearly I have enough to make a third. So I'll make a third one of this as well. And also, if you're interested in my bats, I think my season of giving day is coming up. I think I scheduled it for the weekend. We signed up a while ago. I don't really remember. But I think what I thought was, if we had it on the weekend, I could then contact the winner. And then next Wednesday, when I do this demo, I will make their bat. So I always give a custom bat as my donation. And then you can watch me make it. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, every day, today's Puddin' Ridge Fiber, Sonia Gardner's business. It is today's vendor. And we do, WAFA does giveaway, these sort of daily giveaway things twice a year. Season of Giving, which is what we're in now, and then Tour de Fleece in the summer. Okay, and then just a little bit of the silk. There we go. Okay, consolidate that. Ooh, I almost had fiber in the tea, but it is fiber free. This is not the kind of fiber I would like to consume. Other fiber is fine, but not this. Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way so that I have room to weigh. Okay, put that up here. Get this out. Oops, I lost something. Okay, that'll go there. Let me find my doffer stick. I always keep those underneath. I love Sebastian because there's a space to get your hand underneath the feed tray, so I can store stuff down there. Some drum carters have like a solid wall. Okay, so let's break the bat. I pull upwards and then to the right. You are watching on my camera on my Android phone, so everything is flipped. So it may look like I'm pulling to the left, but I'm really pulling to the right. And can you see sort of how crimpy this is? How frizzy? That's the Coopworth. And then I'm going to push this back down. Left side back into the doffer crease. Being careful not to get any of the teeth or tines, whichever you prefer to call them, underneath your thumbnail. That hurts. Yes, Cheryl knows. It's time to guess. Actually, this is called Purple Sky. This is the same one I did. I think you watched me do one you wanted to call irises. Past weekend I named it Purple Sky, and this is just another one of those, Cheryl. So, but yes, please guess the weight. Yes, and I did tell you the last one I did make was 2.33 ounces. So, who knows if this will be anywhere near that? But if you get close, I will award you trophy emojis. Because it's frizzy, it likes to stick to the carton cloth. Oops. Get that caught there. Okay, oh yeah, we didn't have even had any extra carding there. So, you ready? This is what it looks like. Look at that. Look how thick this is. Okay, Super straight. That's all that air in there. Okay. Actually, I just don't want to catch it on there, but you sort of see this is the thickness. Very, very thick. Nice and warm and fuzzy. Okay, we're going to weigh it. So this is your last chance to... I'm standing off camera trying to... I'm going to end up with purple all over my outfit. Because I'm rolling it up like this so we can weigh it. Tear that out. You see that on camera? Yes. Okay. And now we're going to weigh it. We're going to weigh it. We are also celebrating the fact that I can actually read comments. Okay. Darn, Cheryl, you are darn close. 2.37. So it's a little bigger than the last one. Hang on, let me find my slip of paper. It's over here. Gotta write it down so I don't forget. 2.37 ounces. Okay. So I will fluff and fold and roll it. Take a photo and put it up on the waffle group. I suspect it's going to look a lot like the ones I posted like on Monday or whatever. It was a 4 grid of them. So I think it's going to look pretty much like that, but I'll put it up anyways. Okay. So thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to look for those Season of Giving daily posts. Only works if you live in the U.S. though, Cheryl. Sorry. But otherwise, yes, enjoy your day. I'm waiting for the wind to die down. So you all take care, and I'll see you around on Facebook. Once I can, I will pop up over my finish button. There we go. Take care.